Welcome to Empire of Rust, the super special... Wait a second, this isn't the right cast for Empire of Rust.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I am here with, a completely new cast for this recording. We are going to do a one-shot with the Renegade Games Transformers RPG. Let me introduce the cast. Back from his spectacular 4-year debut on Empire of Rust, we got Matt.
Hello.
Fresh from his 3-year sorta debut on Transmissions, the illustrious Dr. Pants.
I've done it! I finally made it onto Empire of Rust! Yes!
See what happens when you leave the door unlocked?
And fresh from his 5-minute debut on this podcast, we got voice actor Brandon.
Hello! I'm an NPC no longer. I made it to the main cast.
You did Lord Scourge, didn't you?
Yeah, I did Scourge, Stansomt, Legionnaire, and Fishface now, and a couple other ones. Yeah. What was the alligator guy? What's his name?
Leatherback.
Leatherback.
Leatherback,
yeah.
Leatherneck. Leather something.
Oh, yeah. Stanzon was awesome, and Scourge, especially the lines. He was like, "Do you want me to keep a list?" People try to kill me every day.
I love Scourge.
That voice. It was like, sorry, I'm interrupting.
Having the juxtaposition of scary voice with funny Mike, like little lines in there is super funny. But happy to be here.
So like I said, we are going to do something new and interesting with Empire of Rust for these couple of episodes. We are going to go and play a game in the new, I say new, but it's been out for a couple of years now, the new Transformers RPG by Renegade Games. Now, the core rulebook has already been released years ago. The Decepticon Directive, a Decepticon source book, has been released. The Enigma of Combination source book just came out a few months ago. So for all of us who want to play Combiners, Target Masters, Power Masters, Minicons, all this good stuff, that's been released as well. And along with that, the aptly named Field Guide to Action and Adventure for all of your crossover rules for G.I. Joe and Power Rangers. Because this is the Essence 20 system, Renegade's proprietary D20 system that lets you mix and match all of these properties that they have put together. If I remember right, it even encompasses the My Little Pony RPG. So,
yep.
If you wanted to add some ponies in there, you know what? They got all of Hasbro's properties all at once.
What are we doing being Transformers then?
Yeah, I'm out. You telling me I could be playing My Little Pony right now? I'm done. I'm out.
So what we've done is we've created a whole bunch of new characters using this rule set. And you know what? I'm not going to belabor the point. We're not going to do a ton of intros right now. We're just going to jump straight into the action. And we are going to let the dice tell the story. So, without any further ado, without any banter up top, roll for initiative. Scott, what'd you get?
18.
18. All right. Matt, how about you?
10.
10. All right. And Brandon, how about yourself?
The only time I'll roll high on this, probably 19.
19. All right. Well, the order is going to be Brandon, followed by Scott, followed by Matt. So I think kind of a typical Empire of Rust order there, right?
Yeah, it means me going last, yes.
It won't last long. I'm sure I'll be going last for the rest of this character's lifespan. This is an enigma, nothing more.
So let me set the scene for you. You're in the middle of a firefight. Blaster fire all around you. A group of 8 Decepticon soldiers are raiding the Mission City hydroelectric power plant. And your squad was the only one on patrol when you saw the cons flying in, and you decided to give them a little surprise party. You made your way to the top of the dam and put yourselves in the perfect position to take them down. Brandon, you are leading us off. What you gonna do?
All right. So Harness has quickly set up some explosives, and as some Decepticreeps come up towards our entrenched position, there is a massive explosion that sends them flying over the edge as metal and stone go flying. And he just sort of looks at it, he's like, "Now that's beautiful." And then as a Decepticon starts shooting at him, he pulls out his blaster, aims, and misses 3 times consecutively, causing the Decepticon to cower and take cover. And then Harness just sort of puts his gun up and looks quite content. And as the Decepticon sort of looks quite proud of himself as he aims, there's a rev of an engine, and then I think we'll see Scott's character come up. As I will lay down some covering fire.
Scott, you are up next. Tell me what you're doing.
As was said, you hear the rev of an engine, and a Cybertronian motorized tricycle speeds up behind that Decepticon, confused by Harness's blaster fire, rams into him, using him as a ramp to jump into the air. Kickstart screams, "Henshin!" And his Cybertronian rider and himself both transform, he into his bot mode, and pommel his target master partner into a sword, as he then flies down, stabbing Pommel into the Decepticon, standing up and giving a beautiful, flourishing, finishing stance.
Matt, how you gonna top that?
I don't. All right, well, I guess there's just a few left that are cowering, so Sopwith is going to dive down from the sky, and if he gets about halfway down, he's going to open up with his machine guns and strafe the remaining Decepticons on the dam. And then as he's just going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping until he's almost level with the dam, and then he's just going to power dive and sweep them, try to knock them off right with his wings, and just pull up just in time so he doesn't land in the water.
Nice.
Tally ho!
The fight is child's play. Decepticon rookies on their first mission. The 3 of you regroup with the rest of your squad and confront the last remaining one. He's nervous, cyber sweat pouring off of him. He faces you down, fingers hovering a micron above his blaster. He looks to you, Kickstart, and then to you, Sopwith, and lastly, at you, Harness. He pulls his gun and throws it at you. Using the distraction, he flees north along the dam, the only direction to get away from you. And you guys have taken care of the raiding party. This was a Decepticon raiding party on the hydroelectric plant in Mission City, and they were there to steal some energon. And they would have gotten away with it too, but your squad was already in town, on assignment from Rodimus Prime to keep an eye on heightened con activity. Your 6-member squad, led by a bot named Frontline, ambushed the cons as they landed. As the 6 of you laugh and congratulate each other on a successful mission, you see in the distance a pair of Decepticon Seekers. Your squad leader, Frontline, barks out the order. Defensive positions. Catapult, triage, up front. The rest of you, keep us covered. 2 jets land on the dam right in front of the fleeing soldier. And they immediately start fighting each other. The two warriors are among the elite of the Decepticon army. Disciplined, serious, and not prone to the infighting that affects the rabble of the Con foot soldiers. But something is very wrong. The two of them are wailing on each other with punches, kicks. One of them even attempts to bite the other one. It's a form of savagery that is just bizarre for soldiers of their station. The grunt you chased off runs straight towards you, calling out for help. But no help is found for this lowly soldier. The two seekers rear back and punch him in the head and torso, knocking him prone. And they hit him again, and again, and again, until his energon is leaking all over the stones of the dam, and he stops moving. It takes less than a minute before the Seekers turn their attention back to each other. They punch and kick and stab and yell at each other in a mindless rage. They drop to the ground, one of them trying to pull a wing off his companion. But in the melee, they lose track of their position. They drop off and roll over the edge of the dam, transforming and rocketing off over the bay to the south, firing just wildly at each other. Seconds later, the jets are out of visual range, and the area is silent. Frontline looks at the rest of you, clearly just as confused as you are. He gestures to the fallen Con. Triage, check him out. Catapult, you're our spotter. Keep an eye in the sky for those two Seekers. Harness, Kickstart, Sopwith. Stay alert. I don't like this. Triage cautiously approaches the wounded grunt, medical kit in one hand, blaster in the other. I want all of you to give me an alertness or technology roll. Let's start off with you, Scott.
17.
17, pass. Brandon.
13 technology check.
13 technology, also a pass. And lastly, Matt.
19 alertness.
19 alertness, also a pass. All three of you notice this. The bot on the ground starts to glow in eerie red color. And he stands up, turns, and looks at all of you, rage filling his optics. Roll for initiative.
New initiative. No, I know what this is. This is so bad.
What do you mean? What could possibly be bad about this?
What could this possibly be?
Let's start off with Sopwith this time.
All right, I got a 15.
15 for Sopwith. All right. Kickstart.
10.
10 on Kickstart. And lastly, Harness.
It's almost like I was prescient before. 8.
8.
I roll a snag on initiative checks.
Ooh. The Decepticon soldier charges forward, grabbing a hold of Triage's arm. You see Triage resisting for a moment, but his struggle quickly stops as he starts glowing red as well. Triage takes out, aims his blaster, and takes aim at his friends at Catapult on the side of the dam over here, right by the edge of the water. Squeezes off a shot and hits Catapult for 1 damage. So far, all you've seen is this Decepticon soldier came back from what looked like a beating, stood up, glowing red, and he grabbed onto your squad mate, grabbed onto your squad's medic there, Triage. And now Triage is glowing red, and he's shooting at you. What the hell's going on?
Right, man. Alright. I'm gonna try to move towards. I don't have control of my token. That's all right. Move towards the closest guy up front, who's not one of the three of us because we're farther back. Well, I'm not sure if I can do this. I'm strong enough, but I'm gonna run up sort of behind him and then try to pick him up from his armpits, and then sort of fly out to the left over the edge of the dam, so we're off the ground and away from hopefully where this guy can reach, because whatever he's got seems to be infectious. Closest to me on the left, what's his name? That one.
That is going to be Catapult. Yep.
All right. I'm going to try to run up behind Catapult, like sort of grab him under the armpits, and then just fly both of us out sort of over the edge of the dam, so anyone who's ground-based can't quite reach us, and then fly him away from because he's also shooting at us. I don't know how good I'll be at picking him up, but give it a shot.
Go ahead and give me a, let's see, it's going to be an athletics check, I believe. An athletics skill test. That seems to make sense for this.
Alright. Can I use Brawn?
Brawn is more for sustained, like physical exertion.
Alright.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll allow it for you. Why?
Alright. Jeez. 10.
10. I am going to say that's not going to be enough because Catapult is a spotter, so he sees kind of you coming over there, but I think he's a bit more concerned about what's going on with his squad mate right now. What are you doing? We got triage right here. He's something's wrong with him.
He's got some bad mojo, my friend. I don't think you want to touch him. And I guess I can't do anything else. I mean, I have some free actions, but I don't remember what I could do with those. So,
all right. In that case, Kickstart.
Oh boy. I'm sorry. Is transforming a move action? I cannot remember.
It is a standard action, I believe, unless something in your class changes that.
Yeah, and we can actually, one of our abilities as Autobots is that at the beginning of, when we roll for initiative, if we're not surprised, we can choose to convert to our alt mode before combat begins without needing to spend an action.
Okay. I will say you are not surprised at the moment.
bit shocked.
Horrified, but not surprised.
Okay. Then if I'm not surprised, if you don't mind, I'll be in my alt mode.
Go for it.
And I am going to speed up to this side of the dam right here. On the right side past is it, oh crap. It was Catapult, Triage, and...
Frontline,
thank you. And actually, while I'm in my alt mode, I am going to drive across in front of them, between them. And on each space, I'm going to spend a free action to use my pile driver to turn those spots there into difficult terrain.
Ha.
Okay. Trying to put a bit of a barrier between you and the two enemies up there. Okay.
And at the end, then I'll use my standard to transform into my robot mode. Actually, I don't have to. I have quick change. So I spend another free action to change into my bot mode, holding my target master pommel ready to strike if any of them try to cross the barrier.
Okay. Sounds good. Harness, bringing up the end of round one.
All right. Let's see. Harness. Each of these squares, are they 5 feet or 10 feet?
I think technically they'll be 10 feet because based on the size of Transformers, but for our purposes, we'll call them 5 feet.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. And let's see. I'm nervous. If triage is attacking, and my reach with a large creature is, I believe, just 5 feet. So I can reach 15 feet with my grappler using my tow hook and cable. I'm just trying to see if I can grapple triage with my tow hook to keep them from shooting anyone else on the team. Yes, I can reach 15 feet with that. So I would 5, 10, 15. So I'll move up 5 feet, assuming Euclidean geometry. I will move up to this space here, and I'm going to, in my bot mode, my tow hook sort of is integrated into my right shoulder hard point, and I'm going to lower it down into my hands and sort of like whip it around and just sort of say this like, something's wrong with triage, we gotta get her on ice, and I'm gonna throw the tow hook as a grappler weapon and attempt to grapple to restrain triage. So I'm gonna make an athletics test. Let's see. I have 2 ranks in athletics, so that'll put me up to a D4. But would this be considered a ranged attack? Yeah, because the range is reach times 3. It doesn't have like range X number of feet.
If it has a reach range, then it is considered a melee weapon.
Gotcha. So I can't use aim. So I will just roll the d20 with a d4 and see if I can hit them with my grappling. Ooh.
Now, if you're successful on this will kind of bind her arms kind of close to her body. Will it still allow her to move and walk around them?
That's a good question. So the grappler allows me, it has the effect of maneuver, and maneuver allows you to grapple, trip, or shove. And once someone is grappled, let me find that in the combat section.
Looks like grappler is athletics or finesse, just in case you're wondering. Melee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an athletics check, and then let's see. They're no size larger than me.
I think you're right. It says movement of 0 ends when the grappler ends. If the grappler is defeated.
So they could have a stand. Yeah, they have a movement of 0 for all movement types. Grants an edge on melee attacks to target their evasion. They suffer a snag on skill tests not related to escaping the grapple, and can, as a standard action, try to escape with a acrobatics, athletics, brawn, or finesse skill test against the grappler's toughness, which is my strength defense. So they get to decide their defense, evasion, or toughness, but I rolled a 13 on my athletics skill test to try to grapple them with my token.
13, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
That is actually not going to make it on either toughness or evasion.
Damn.
You were close, though. You were very, very close.
Maybe with the upshift, but it was not meant to be. I'll see sort of like the grapple sort of miss, but it's like, just calm down, triage.
Now, let me ask you, do you want to use a story point? No, story points are kind of new to the Renegade system, and they kind of work like hero points for other games, where you can affect the outcome of die rolls. You can start to get like some cool benefits and bonuses and stuff. But in this situation, the story point allows you to adjust a die roll if you know the result by +1. Now, I already told you that it was pretty close. I'm not telling you how close.
I could re-roll a die result of 1, and I did roll a 1 on my skill die for athletics, which is a d4. So if I re-roll it, there's a chance I could roll higher on the skill die to increase the result. So, and we start with a number of story points equal to the number of characters, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so we've got 3. So if you guys are fine, I'll burn a story point and try to grapple triage so we can sort of like not have to deal with someone raging on this dam right now.
Yeah, definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, let's go for it. I will I will use a story point to re-roll any die result of 1. So let's re-roll that. There we go. That's a 3, which will make my athletics skill test a 15.
Okay. And I was thinking of targeting evasion on this one here. There's a the attributes in the Renegade system here is a little bit different than something like a Starfinder, where you had 6 typically in most D20 systems. There's only 4 attributes here in the Renegade Games RPG. It is strength, speed, smarts, and social. And as you expect, strength is kind of physical attributes. Speed is how fast you are. Smart's how intelligent you are, and social is how clever and how charismatic you are. And each one has its own particular saving number when it comes to targeting that skill or targeting that attribute. I'm going to go with evasion on this one because, again, it makes perfect sense to avoid a grapple. And you do just hit her evasion save.
All right. So now my toad hook will sort of like wrap around her and then cinch onto itself, and I'll just sort of like use both hands to sort of like hold it tight. And yeah, she has a movement of 0, and we'll have advantages against her, and she can't move.
All right, sounds good. All right, so start of round 2. Let's see, it's going to be Triage and the Decepticon Soldier's turn. The Soldier is going to take a shot. I think the Soldier's going to take a shot at Frontline this time. Let's see if he can bring Frontline down. So that is probably going to be a hit. That is going to be an 18. Oh yeah, that definitely clears his evasion. No problem. He is going to take 1 damage. So he has now been hurt, along with Catapult already. They both look equally hurt. Triage is... actually, the Soldier is going to start moving a little bit closer. Getting himself in a better position to start shooting the rest of you. And Triage is going to attempt to break out of the grapple. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Brandon, but you said athletics or finesse?
Yeah, so to escape the grapple, sorry, I'll pull it up again. I believe it's athletics, acrobatics, or let's see. Acrobatics, athletics, brawn, or finesse against my toughness, which is 16.
Let's see, I don't have any bonuses in the other stuff, so this is going to be a flat die roll. So the way it works with this system is you roll a d20, and then based on your skill level, you'll add either a d2, a d4, a 6, an 8, a 10, or a 12 to your skill for any test. The test could be anything from an athletics, trying to break out of a grapple, or a targeting test to shoot, or a technology test to try and figure out how technology works, or science to try and figure out the science stuff.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, if they have no skills in these, is that an unskilled roll, which I believe defaults to a snag, which is like disadvantage.
That is exactly right, actually. If you don't have any skill die in it, it is considered unskilled, and you have to roll with disadvantage. And that is a very, very good that you reminded me of that, Brandon, because my first roll was a nat 20, and my second roll was a natty 8.
Hey! Yeah! Get up on out of here!
Which does not beat your DC.
Yeah, I just had like holding tight, both arms sort of like pulling from my like toe hook, like sort of like boom arm, and trying to pull and trying to keep them away as well as like keep them snagged.
Ugh. Goodness.
All right, round 2, still going on here. Sopwith, you are towards the back over here. Did you transform back to your bot mode when you came back to regroup with everyone?
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah, in bot mode. All right. I'm going to fly out and get some distance from the Decepticon. Just gonna fly out over the water, and so I can sort of get a clear shot at him. And I'm gonna try to open up my machine gun at this dude.
Okay, let's do it. I believe that's a targeting skill test.
Targeting, yep. And I get. The reason I'm going far away. 10, 15, 30.
You want no part of this nonsense.
Well, yes, and I also get 2 upshifts if I'm more than 30 feet away.
Oh, alright, alright. Is that a property of the machine gun?
Property of a perk I have. So that's gonna roll a d20, a d2, a d4, a d8, a d10.
So many dice.
I can find a d10 and a d12. Alright.
So when you're specialized in a skill, such as targeting, you are going to roll all the skill die, everything that you have, and take the best result. Now, normally that's going to be like the higher skill die that you roll. So if you're rolling a d12, usually that's going to be higher than a d6. But you know, there's always the odds of rolling a 6 on a 6 and then a 1 on a 12. So if you're specialized, you get to roll a lot of dice.
Yeah. So I got a 15, and I got the highest rolls my d10, so 15 and 9. So that's 24. Hit this fool.
Nice. Did you roll max on any of your dice?
No, I didn't. All the dice, none of them were max.
All right, well, that's certainly enough to to beat their evasion DC.
And that is going to do 2 sharp damages to him.
2 sharp damage. Okay.
And then can I try to use persuasion on our medic to try to calm her down?
On triage, yeah, absolutely.
Triage, listen to me. There's nothing to be upset about. Just a bit off, a bit knackered. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be just top. Don't worry. No, I have persuasion. It's gonna be ugly. No, I got a. What's that? A 7.
7.
I'm trying to say it's gonna be all right. Don't worry.
Triage looks up at you and screams out a full 4 sentences worth of Cybertronian profanities at you.
I say, ma'am. There's no need for that kind of language. I know you're a bit upset right now.
Insulting you, your protoform's mother.
Oh.
Your mother was an oil can. Whoa.
And your father smelled of axle grease.
Whoa, hey.
Wow.
Hey now.
This is a family show.
Alright, Kickstart. What are you gonna do?
Well, while Triage is grappled, I'm going to move back here. And Pommel's got a reach of 2, so I'm going to try and hit the Decepticon with Pommel. Nice. So Kickstart's going to wind up with his blazing Target Master friend.
What does that look like with having reach of 2? Is it like a chain sword like Ivy from Soul Calibur, or is it like Cloud Strife where you like they just like make themselves huge?
I'm pretty sure it's just a big sword.
Hell yeah.
Just a big, long, two-handed sword.
Awesome.
Which is strange that I can use finesse with it.
Hey, well, Pommel's helping you out. Your sword is helping you.
Exactly. Kickstart's going to yell out, "How dare you turn our friends against us!" And for using pommel, I am specialized in this. This is great, and I've got edge.
Woo! Let's go.
Damn.
So, 22.
Damn.
That's definitely gonna hit.
That is 3 sharp damage. Was that against toughness?
I think it's evasion for the extra fire damage.
Oh, it's the evasion for the extra fire
Yeah,
damage.
I was thinking of passive before.
I would probably say toughness, but because it's a melee weapon hitting. But if there's something specific that targets evasion DC, usually it can be lower. But
I believe the defender gets to pick unless an ability allows the attacker to pick. They get to pick whatever defense they want, evasion or toughness.
we'll say toughness. Not that it matters in this case.
No. No. Is he still standing after that attack?
So you how much damage did you deal? You said 3 sharp damage.
3 sharp. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. So a couple things are going to happen here. One, you bring that soldier down. Soldier is defeated. It is on the ground. Now, defeat in this game can mean any number of things. It can mean dead. It could mean just unconscious. It could mean any number of things. But the point is, that you have beaten this soldier, and it is not a factor in dealing you damage anymore. However, I need Pommel to make a brawn skill check.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
I'm only doing this because Pommel is a living Cybertronian. If you hit that soldier with just a standard blade, a regular piece of metal, I'd say, okay, you got it.
15?
15 is not going to do it.
Holy
Sorry, point.
I will say that this could be very bad for you. So if you want to use a story point or an energon point, energon points are similar to story points. You can usually get some additional benefits. Usually not as important or not as big as a story point, but you can still get things like upshift, ignore snag, stuff like that. But yeah, I will say that this is a very pivotal moment in your life right now.
So unfortunately, Pommel doesn't have any ranks in Brawn.
Okay.
So what's the best option, do you guys think? Burn the story point, or?
So did you roll the brawn with a snag then?
I did not, actually.
Okay, yeah, because then I would say you could ignore the snag with an energy point. Because you can't add to the defense because you're making an active skill roll and not being attacked. And without the ranks, specialization won't help. Yeah, I don't know. Even upshift will only give you a D2. I'm not certain what the story points or energon points can do, especially post roll. We may just have to try to find a way around this.
There's no way a story point could just let me re-roll it for funsies.
Yeah, only reroll on a 1, I think, unless Mike allows us.
Yeah, honestly,
rule.
I'm okay with that. I mean, generally, you're only supposed to reroll a 1 on spending a story point, but I mean, it's a reroll. So honestly, that doesn't. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
And this is a snag too, right? So I have to take the lower of the two because I'm not.
But if you want to burn an energon point, you can ignore the snag.
Cool, I'll do that then.
Yeah, and we also regain an energon point after any encounter with Cybertronian. So it's good to use at least 1 energon point in any encounter with other Cybertronians because you'll get it back.
Oh, come on, baby.
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll high on this one, man. This is a tough one.
18?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Is that enough?
You barely make this. You see the tip of Pommel's blade start to glow red for a moment, but just as quickly, just as soon as you notice it, you stab Pommel into the stone of the dam, and push him in as far as you can go. And as you bring him back up, you scrape off every possible every little possible like, fungal virus infested piece that you can on the way up. His blade is scratched to all hell now. He does not look good. I am going to say that you are going to take -2 to social for his essence scores for the rest of this adventure.
I might be able to fix that.
I would appreciate that.
Does your sword socialize a lot?
I mean,
I know it speaks for you in a very sort of a definite way there, but
no, he doesn't socialize a lot. He says a lot of things. He's a lot of big talk. There's a whole lot of let me at him kind of talk, but he is my scrappy.
all right. Well, we've learned something. Do not hit robo zombies with living things.
What if, and hear me out, what if we hit robo zombies with robo zombies?
Hey, hair the dog, man.
Okay. I assume that is it for Kickstart?
I mean, I could technically take another attack, but I don't want to hit triage, so. By the way, is triage, like, are they under the frightened or impaired condition at all?
Not mechanical.
Okay. Then that is the last thing I can do.
Okay.
Do you have any extra movement just to get some extra space between you and triage?
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't moved that much, so yeah, I could. In fact, I'll step back another 5 feet.
Just in case they break out of my grapple.
That's a good idea.
Just remember, you can use free actions to
buy some extra movement.
5 movement.
Yep.
And I believe you can take a standard at any point along your movement too. It's not like Pathfinder where you have to go all your movement to do something or do something to do all your movement.
Oh, that's good to know.
Unless you invest like a six long feet chain to get like spring attack at level 18.
That is correct. You can break up your movement into any like pieces as long as you have the movement for it.
Oh well, then by all means, I'm actually going to move back to where I was with that movement.
Sounds good.
Sorry, I was thinking Pathfinder rules.
Gotcha. All right, Harness. That means you are up.
All right. Okay, I've got triage grappled away from me with my tow hook cable.
Mm-hmm.
Can you detach it?
I could.
Prepare to detach cable.
Yeah.
Cable detach.
I bet I could as a transport since it's part of my body. I could probably elect to do that.
I've seen this rather droll film called Star Battles. Anyway, there was these great big mechanical beasts with large legs, and they went round and round and round and round with the cable.
Ooh.
If you give me the cable, I might be able to do something similar.
Well, if whatever this thing seems contagious, and I don't want this to spread, if we can take them out, even non-lethally, that'll be good. So I'm going to. Let's see.
If you give me the cable, I can fly around in a circle.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. So yeah, I guess, Michael, may I detach my cable?
I don't see why not.
That I can do.
We'll call that a free action.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll use. I have a speed of 3, so I have 1 free action. I will use it to detach a section of cable off of my tow hook, which I will have to replace. But I think it'll be worth it. And I will sort of hold it aloft for Sopwith and just sort of call out to him, just like, "Hey, fly triage over the water in case they get loose. Give us some time to figure out a plan." And then I will. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else I can do. I can't risk using a melee weapon for stun damage on triage right now. But if you allow me, I have them grappled currently. Since they're already grappled in my cable, can I also attempt to trip them and knock them prone? It won't matter when Sopwith grabs the cable, but...
Sure. You know what? Yeah, give it a shot.
Alright.
I believe it's going to be like an attack roll of some kind, right? Or a might roll?
Yeah, so they're already grappled. So since my grappler allows me to maneuver, which allows for grapple, shove, or trip, they have to use evasion for this, and then they have this grants me an edge since they're already grappled. They're not any size larger, and yeah, so I'm going to attempt to trip them with the athletics of my grappler. So, and I have an edge, so I roll 2d20, take the higher. Ooh, it's not great though. I only got a 7, unfortunately.
On 2 d20s?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 and a 5.
Wow. Yeah, that's not going to do it for... You said I had to do it on evasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to do it, man.
Yeah. Alright, so they don't get tripped, but I will just sort of like hold the cable up for Sopwith to grab, and maybe we can form a plan with Frontline about how to knock out triage for the moment.
Okay. Let's see here. Remind me, what is the DC or the difficulty for escaping the grapple again?
Yes. So yeah, acrobatics, athletics, brawn, or finesse against my toughness defense, which my strength. I have 6 points in my essence for strength, so my toughness defense is 16.
Okay.
If they're not skilled in any of those, then they roll it with a snag.
Okay. I am rolling actually with a couple of upshifts. I'm going to try a brawn test to get out of this grapple, and actually, I think I might have gotten.
Snag, dude.
I think I might have gotten this because.
Odds on it.
Let's see here. That is actually, it might be close. I think I just made it 16 exactly.
16 is my toughness defense.
All right, so Triage struggles against these steel cables, and while she can't break them outright, she is able to kind of like loosen them enough, just kind of bend them and stretch them just enough so that when she kind of retracts her arms again, the cords just fall straight down.
Arnis just looks at it and just goes like, oh crap.
Triage is going to move forward one spot and put her hands on Frontline.
No! Frontline is next to me!
Yes, Frontline is next to you.
No!
Frontline needs to make a very important brawn skill test. And I don't think that's going to do it because he is not specialized in brawn, so he's going to be... no, he is specialized in brawn, so he does not take a snag, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Let's hope let's hope that D2 is favorable to you. He gets a 17, and he does not make it.
What the hell?
From where Triage put her hands on Frontline's shoulder, you can start to see Frontline starts glowing red, and just a look of pure rage and hate fills his optics. And that is it for them. Sopwith.
There goes that plan.
Just blast them. I can repair them later.
If you say so.
Yeah, this battle is not going your way right now.
gonna have to get aggressive here, guys. Alright. I'm going to...
Well, Kickstart got aggressive. Look what happened to him.
I'm going to try to do... I'm going to use my standard action. No, actually, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm going to fire my machine gun and try to hit both of them.
Nice.
Okay.
If you have the free actions, you could burn up to 3 free actions to aim. For
Oh, yeah, I was
upshift
planning
for
on
each.
doing that. Yeah. I'll do aim. 3 aims.
Nice.
So aim is one of those kind of ubiquitous actions in this system where you can spend one of your free actions to aim, and it gives you an upshift on your attack. And you can do that up to 3 times on each turn. So if you get 3 free actions, you can upshift up to 3 times.
Now, help me out here. Multiple targets, are they separate attacks? Or roll once for all of them?
Last time I read it was you make separate attacks.
Okay.
Yeah. Multiple targets. Roll an attack skill test for each target, applying any modifiers individually for each target, and applying the effects individually as well.
So, yeah. That's bad.
Oh no.
It is a 13 to hit triage.
That is a miss on triage. Barely, but it's a miss. Don't forget that you do have story points and energon points to potentially help that out a little bit.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to like upshift or something.
Actually, missing can be useful for me too.
Oh, because you got the covering fire thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I got a 25 to hit
Front line?
yeah, long front line.
Front pants line.
I just looked up Dr. Pants. I was like,
Yeah.
that's 25. Hit him.
That is
and-
definitely a hit.
well, that's a
Nice.
That is a sharp targets 2. 1 sharp damage for them, and triage will have a roll with a what they call it snag on her next attacks next turn.
Okay. You do not bring down frontline, but you do. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I think he took a hit already. So yes, you actually do bring down frontline.
Oh dear.
Woo!
Mixed
Wow.
feelings here.
Well, he's defeated, not necessarily dead. We might be able to do something about that.
Let's throw him in the water, wash off the stuff.
Yeah.
Get some Ajax. Yeah, I don't know if I should. It's getting closer. Useful to you guys?
I know we generally want to stay away from those that are glowing. That's all it, but
Well, check. Yeah, I don't remember all my options in the system.
yeah, no worries. I would say it's probably a good idea to keep your distance for the time being.
However, I will scream abuse, yell abuse back at Triage, try to get her attention and her aggression.
Okay. Try and force it to her. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm farther. I can't be grabbed by her right now, and if she can shoot at me, that's okay.
All right. Go ahead and make a quick intimidate roll. An intimidate skill test.
I rolled 2 11s on my 2d20.
You see, you have to take the lower.
No, take the other one, Matt. Take the other one.
Take the other 11. That one's no good.
What happens when the only thing you're good at is hitting things?
Yeah.
Shooting things.
All right. You don't know if she is sufficiently intimidated, but you'll find out soon enough. Kickstart.
Your mother was a toaster. She put the cream on before the jam onto the scones.
Dr. Matt. Save us.
I'm gonna try. Quick question. You say they're glowing red?
Yes.
Okay. That's just for my own personal information.
I might want to put some distance. So
Yeah.
at least if they start chasing you, you have some safety.
Well, I can also move pretty quick. I'm gonna move here, so now I've got. They also have difficult terrain between us too, from what I put earlier.
That's right.
So, I'm gonna put myself here. I'm actually gonna let go of Pommel so he can transform and stand next to me.
All right.
Okay. And then Kickstart is going to pull out his blaster and take a shot at Triage.
Let's do it. I think that's going to be a targeted skill test.
The bridge is growing hair.
I figured I'd just draw where the rough terrain was.
Yep.
19.
19 versus evasion. Yep, that's gonna do it.
Very
That
nice.
is one sharp damage.
1 sharp damage on Triage. She is still up.
Well, then let's do a bunny attack. And we'll give it. I'll burn the 2 free actions and go again.
Nice.
Oof, 10.
10 is not going to do it.
No.
It's a nice,
But,
it's a nice mix of ranges on here too. I was a little. I was thinking that it was going to be a kind of like really high almost all the time. But let's look at a good mix. I like this.
Can Pommel take his shot then too?
Does Pommel have a blaster?
Pommel has a mini laser.
Huh? Pew pew. Okay then.
All right, so he only gets a D4 to hit, but you never know. Let's see what happens.
It's not bad.
Yes.
Something.
He's skilled in it, so
14.
14 versus evasion will not do it.
Womp womp.
That's okay. He tried his best. He screams obscenities at her, but
Does Pommel talk, or does he go?
Oh no, he talks and he says a lot of really terrible
jeez.
things. Pommel wants to fight. He wants to kill.
Damn.
Yeah.
You sure Pommel's not effective?
Let me at him.
No, this is normal. This is normal for Pommel. That's why he's the weapon.
All right, harness. Closing off
Right,
round 3, I believe.
Yeah, I want to get some distance. I'm trying to. I think we just have to try to take down Triage. So, my blaster is integrated into my right forearm, so it doesn't require any sort of action to draw it. So, with that being the case, I will use a free action to aim, to upshift, and so I will target them with my standard issue blaster. I only have 1 rank in targeting, so I'll upshift to a D4, and then I have not used an Energon point yet, so I might use an Energon point preemptively to upshift again. So I'll go from... I have a lot of Energon points as a scientist, so I'm going to go ahead and mark down that I've used 1 of my Energon. So we're going to roll a D6 with this here targeting shot. I just sort of like aim my blaster on my arm, just like, sorry about this, Triage. I'll patch you up. No, I won't. Because I rolled a 2 on the die and a 3 on the D6, so that's a 5.
Oh man.
Or maybe I won't.
No.
And Triage gets more pissed, so I'm gonna move back. Stop drawing. Okay. I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This is like, no, Triage, let's be reasonable about this. No, let's not do anything hasty. Come on, we're friends.
All right. Triage's turn, huh? Triage is going to. Actually, I don't think she has to pick up her gun because she was just like bound up, you know. So I'm sure she still had her gun in her hand. She is going to take a shot at Catapult, and you know, let's see if we can bring Catapult down. Let's see. This might be a hit. That's going to be a 13 base, and we're gonna hit a 15, just enough to do it. So Catapult will take another hit, and I think that's enough to bring Catapult down. Unfortunately, yep, it is.
Yikes! Just us boys.
Triage is going to move, and she does have enough movement to get through the difficult terrain, and she's going to move right up to you, Kickstart. Kickstart, I want you to give me a. There's no such thing as like a skill, like no, just be a skill check, wouldn't it? It'd be like a speed skill check, like for the reflex save, like a. To give like a reflex save.
I mean, I guess it would be like an attack against his evasion would probably be the closest approximation in this game.
There are no essence checks. There are no direct essence checks.
Yeah, there's no direct check for that. So I think the closest thing would be an attack versus evasion would be the best way to simulate that, I think, in this system.
Okay. So Triage moves up to you, Kickstart, but unfortunately she already used her standard action to shoot Catapult, so she can't try and grab onto you, so you're safe for another round.
Awesome. I was about to say, like, if there was a time to use a story point to get +5 to defense before it's rolled, that would be the time.
Yeah, it would.
Curse you, action economy!
Yeah, we do gain story points on a if we roll a natty 1, or if we fumble, I should say, we gain story points. And a skill test fumble is we roll a natural 1 on the d20 and fail the test, so we can sort of regenerate it on failure.
Yeah, you would, and it's very easy to want to be like very stingy with the story points and like not wanting to use them, but you can get them back fairly effectively. So makes sense to use.
And we can get rewarded by the GM if he's feeling so generous. And by the way, Mike, you're looking so nice today. By the way, the GM can award story points to us for like role playing and stuff like that.
You'll notice that I'm wearing my Decepticon shirt.
Just so that we know what side you're on.
Hold on. Megatron shirt. I'm your boss.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, that brings it back to you, Sopwith. Triage is right next to Kickstart, and you think it could be a pretty bad situation for him if it comes back. So, what's he gonna do?
Try this again. You guys are two separate things, aren't you?
Me and Pommel right now, yeah.
Are you gonna go before Kickstart? No.
Harness.
No. Bad guy.
Triage.
Is she
Yes.
down?
Goes.
I'm right after you.
Okay.
Goes. Bad guys. Sopwith. Kickstart. Hearts.
Yeah.
I will use my standard action to change into an airplane,
Nice.
and I will zoom by. I don't know how the best way mechanically to get this, but I'm going to try to zoom by so you can grab onto my landing gear.
Okay.
I don't think I have a great way of picking you up otherwise, without some cooperation. So, since your turn's right after me, I'll sort of delay it long enough to have plenty of movement.
Works for me.
Okay. So Kickstart. Go ahead.
I'll reach down to Pommel to to have him change into his sword mode, and I'll reach up to grab Sopwith's landing gear to grab onto him as we fly away.
Nice. Okay. All right.
And then he grabs onto me. I'll fly out over the dam. Well, actually, I don't know if I can carry both of you.
Well,
how you doing, the harness?
I mean, at this point, pommel is basically a piece of equipment. So
no, I'm talking about harness.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
If I should you guys turn and try to pick you up too.
No, it's all good. I think at this point, if you guys can stay away and I can try to just keep triage away from me and just sort of like shoot at them until we can take her down, then we can sort of like assess the situation. But I think right now, with seeing how bad this is, and I think, Mike, is it like sort of safe to assume that maybe like fast track or fast track's your name, right?
Kickstart.
Kickstart. Thank you. Kickstart was able to sort of tell us that like something went wrong when I hit triage with right. The idea like, is that something we were able to like observe or sort of like clock, or just a realization like between that and then seeing how this thing has spread, sort of realizing like no touchy bad. Like,
yeah, I think that's a safe assumption. Yeah,
that's a scientific term. I'm a scientist in game, so I would know that.
Can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
So like picking up pommel and then grabbing onto Sopwith doesn't take all of my actions, correct?
I mean, we can say that jumping, like pommel jumping up into your hand, is his own action. And then it's a move action for you to grab onto it. So if you still want to have a standard, yeah, absolutely.
If Sopwith were to fly up high enough that I could drop down wielding pommel to stab him into the dam, is there any chance of breaking the dam near where triage is? She would fall into the water.
I would say that is going to be a might roll, and that could be pretty epic.
You think you can do that for me, Sopwith?
Yeah, if that's what you want, I will gain altitude up to and spend some free actions. Well, I'll read you the home base as well. We probably should have done before now.
Yeah.
Fill them in.
And technically only like 18-20 seconds have passed in world, so like we can be forgiven for dealing like glowing red bad guys.
Yeah. While you're flying me up, I'll radio everybody and be like, you can't touch them. Like, it's spreading whatever it is through touch.
It's the first thing he calls, don't touch them! It's like, what?
Don't touch them! Don't touch them!
The Autobot HR is just like, yes, this is good advice at any time.
Alright. Going
Alright.
Up.
And then once we get high enough, I'm gonna drop.
Alright. If we want to spend some energy on, spend a story point, describe what you're doing. Do it.
First, if possible, I would like to use one of my mass shifts.
Oh, cool.
To give myself, to upshift my might.
Alright.
And, yeah, let's blow another energon point at the same time. And
to upshift again?
To upshift once more and make it a D8.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't even get a D8 out. I wasn't expecting to use it.
Are you already specialized with this also?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's give it a roll. So I'm just going to drop down, kind of like Link from Smash Brothers doing the down sword strike right into the dam near where triage is, hoping to break it.
Yeah.
Driving pommel in.
And because this is preparation, this is something that you're doing, it speaks directly to your competence as a character, I will give you an additional upshift.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Upshift courtesy of gravity.
And also because it's pommel, do I get edge on this also?
Because he's your target master?
If you normally get an edge on attack, yeah. Do it.
Damn. All right.
This
is pretty cool.
This is how you play the game, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this game is just like, how do we stack as many dice on top of each other as possible?
I got a 20 total.
Nice.
20 total. All right, and you are so you want to go in and break through part of the dam, right?
Right, and as I'm going down, like he's screaming like yeah, just all the way down until he hits the dam with all the force he has.
Go ahead and describe your hit then.
So as he slams into the dam with Pommel, there is a brief moment where nothing happens. But then there is a shock as the dam starts to crack around him. Stone flies into the air, but seems to stop for a second as you hear the shock wave of him hitting the ground. And then the cracks appear around where Triage is as the dam starts to crumble and her falling off the side of the dam below it. And as that happens, of course, Kickstart stands up, spins Pommel around, putting him over his shoulder in an epic pose, not looking at what just happened.
Of course. Cool guys never look at the explosion.
Nicely done. And
Well
Triage woo, falls to the bottom.
Triage washing out again.
All right.
We're gonna need
the
a long
problem
rope
is-
and a magnet.
I've
now
got the long rope.
And now we've infected the entire water supply.
Good thing we don't have to drink water. Harness will step forward and just like, what did you do? We were protecting the dam from the Decepticons and you broke it for them.
If I didn't break the dam, she was going to infect all of us. And then who's going to protect the people? We have to protect them.
I guess you got a point.
And for that epic maneuver, you, sir, get your team a story point.
All right.
Hey!
Yeah.
Nice.
Very jolly good, jolly good. That was a splendid maneuver there, my friend.
Couldn't have done it without you.
So I'm going to take you guys out of combat. The other three bots are still there, and they are still glowing red. What would you like to do?
One of them got shot and isn't glowing red yet, though. One of our
You are
pals.
correct.
Catapult.
So let's do
Catapult
some
is not
first aid on him first.
Yeah, that's a good call. I can repair, so I'm going to first retrieve the hook for my cable and just sort of reattach it to what cable I have left in my tow hook. But I will go and kneel down to Catapult, and I have a standard repair kit, and I'm going to attempt to repair Catapult. Also, is the encounter technically done?
Yes.
Cool. Do we regain an Energon point for an encounter with Cybertronians?
Yes, you do.
Woohoo! All right. Nice. So I'm back up to 9. Cool. So I will kneel down. I won't use my Intrafilum yet, but I'm just going to attempt a repair test to heal some damage to Catapult. I'm just going to try to get them back up. So I believe that's just going to be a difficulty 10 technology repair test.
Yeah, 10 sounds familiar.
Yeah, the difficulty of a skill test to restore health is equal to 5 plus 5 per health you want to restore. So to restore 1 health, difficulty of the skill test is 10. So I have the machinist influence, so I have an advantage, or not advantage. I have an edge on skill tests to repair or upgrade Cybertronians or Cybertronian technology, and I have a D6 to technology. And the standard repair kit lets me attempt the repair. So, boom, there we go, 16. So I will restore 1 health to Catapult. I'll just sort of like kneel down and sort of like the utility storage containers of my tow truck utility truck mode are sort of on my backpack, and they sort of like slide open as I pull out like a little like welding thing and like little like electronic things to volt them back up and do a quick heal.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you can do some repairs. Catapult is not going to regain consciousness right away. You think
Sure.
you think he's still going to need some more repairs. but you have stabilized him, and you think that with some time he will regain consciousness.
Gotcha. I'll sort of like get up. All right. Well, that was the easy part. Now to look at the scary glowing stuff. Sopwith, you've been around forever. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Have I seen anything like this? It does remind me of a particularly poor batch of soup that they served in 1960. Yeah, the men were not happy about that. You know, let me tell you about. Go ahead.
You can make a science or a culture test to try and figure out what's going on, but I will warn you that it's gonna be a very, very difficult check. This is not something that's common.
Gotcha. So if you want to help me with this, if we want to collaborate with this, I got a pretty high science, and if you guys help me with it, then we might be able to make this result pretty high. Is there a specialization that might be able to be associated with this, Mike? I have a chemistry specialization, but I don't know if that applies to this specifically, as we're sort of examining these glowing red Cybertronians.
I'll say that...
Because I can effectively get specialization in any science, but at a downshift. But if these guys help me out, I can hopefully negate that downshift.
Yeah. I'll say anything like virology, biotech. I'll even be willing to allow something like a biology or a botany or something like that to stand as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll start with
radiation if you have any kind of specialty in that.
Radiology.
So, yeah.
So I don't have any of those specializations, but I can function as if I do have them.
Awesome.
Due to my broad understanding scientist perk, what we can do. Yeah, so I'll sort of go over. You start going into a story, I think, Sopwith. I asked if I've ever seen anything.
Just imagine the droning in the background while he's figuring this out.
And I think we can actually narratively make this work because I have a perk called Talk Them Through It, where I can have. So normally you need to have a rank and a skill to lend assistance, but for science and technology perks, I can sort of talk you guys and talk with you guys through problems so that you guys can assist me even if you don't have ranks in that. So I sort of am looking at this and sort of tuning you out, and you start talking about soup. It's these men, and it was and I'm looking at this thinking of it as a technology problem, and then I think bacteria could be biological, somehow interfacing with Cybertronian, and then I'll sort of ask. I don't know why, Dr. Vance. I can't remember. My brain keeps saying faster. I'm it's
Kickstart.
Kickstart. Thank you. My goodness, I feel so bad. I keep forgetting. So Kickstart is Kickstart. Look in the other body. See if it's I see these growths on here. Where are they located on the other body?
I'll take Harness's direction and just go over and take a look at the other body. And then, am I rolling then? To talk me through it? Is that, do I roll
so
then?
I'm just sort of narratively thinking of a way for you guys to be able to lend assistance to this test. And then if he can describe like where it's applied.
Would you be able to take a look at Pommel since he came in contact with it but didn't get?
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah. So I'll look and see like where you scraped off the stuff. And just like, so on point of contact, it goes in through, and then so I'm going to try to make this science test under the biology specialization, which I don't have. But I'll roll it as if specialized with an upshift from Sopwith. If you guys can both lend assistance, if that's okay with you, Mike.
Do it.
All right. So with you guys both lending me assistance, I'll be specialized, and then I'm going to burn another energon point to upshift this again.
Do we have to roll something for lend assistance? Because I can't seem to find it in the book how you do it.
I don't believe so. I think as long as you have a rank in the skill, you can lend assistance, but I get to ignore that rule, which is fun. Cool. So I'm going to roll.
I think it was just like you give an edge to someone. Is that?
Edge or an upshift.
Oh, edge or an upshift, I think. And so I'm using that to sort of negate the downshifts I get from my broad understanding.
Blah,
So
blah, blah. Dysentery.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Like the dysentery.
Cholera?
Yeah. He's like going into his story, and like Harness is sort of like picking out details from it that is like sort of helping in his thought process. All right, so we're gonna roll D20 specialization with, let's see, my science is a D8. So actually, with the extra upshift for an energon point, I get to roll a D10. Sorry, I did not think I was gonna get up to a D10 during tonight's session.
And I will say that the two of you will provide an upshift for Harness in this case. I'm trying to justify the edge, but I just don't think that you have enough experience to kind of to do that.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with the upshift.
An upshift.
All right,
just an upshift.
Yeah.
In general.
I think each person, as long as it's reasonable for them to provide aid, each character can add an upshift with the lend assistance. So, wow. Okay, this is a lot of dice. Cool. All right, so science test. Hi. Ooh, that's really good. All right, that's a 19 on the die. D2 was not, so no crit, but I rolled a 9 on the D10, so that's 28 science test.
You got it.
Nice. Got it. I sort of like look at it, and I come to the conclusion, which Mike will describe it. I was like, prodigious. I got it. And then I guess he'll tell me what I know.
So, using all the information at your disposal, you examine the energy effect that is glowing from these bots. You examine what is happening with what happened to Pommel, and you're kind of like reaching back very, very far into the depths of your memory. All the like obscure medical texts that you've read, all the theoretical diseases, and it comes back to one little note not in a medical text of all places, but in a book on mythology. Something that happened on a planet on the far side of the galaxy thousands and thousands of years ago, before living memory. This seems very similar to something called the Hate Plague. And we'll see you next time.
No! Get out of here!
I knew it! I knew it was the Hate Plague!
I knew it! Season 3, of course it's the Hate Plague.
But the SS-20 has not integrated the Care Bears yet. We're in trouble.